Welcome to Cake with Kelsey. I am your host, Kelsey, along with Miss Supernerd and KINETIC 100, who will be joining us shortly. Um, it is Tuesday, October 25th, and we are here each and every Tuesday live to air on vexradio.com, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us if you're already with us. Sorry, we're a little late starting. If you want to invite your friends, just direct them to vexradio.com. Tell them to click the link at the very top of the screen, and they will be in the conversation, in the mix, I should say. So join us on YouTube. It's going to take you to a YouTube page where you can actually leave comments. We're going to be taking a look and monitoring that page and responding to your questions, your comments there. And I'm also going to post the link to join the conversation a little later. So download Google Hangouts if you don't already have it on your device, your smartphone, tablet, PC. And once the link is up, you can actually just click on that and join the conversation and add your comments, questions that way as well. Remember, vexradio.com is the best place to listen to hip hop and R&B 24/7 before and after Cake with Kelsey, of course. And this is a podcast. You may be listening to it as a podcast. But if you are not and you want to share it with friends after the fact, I'll give you all the podcast broadcasters where you can forward people to, or if you want to hear it for yourself again. Or if we go on and on a little longer, then you can stick around. Don't worry, you can always catch up and listen to the podcast to hear what you missed. But I do hope you stick around for this conversation. It should be a good one. Hello, Miss Supernerd.
What's
How you doing?
I'm sick.
It's all good. What kind of sick? Like
I don't
sick?
know.
Oh,
I have no
okay.
idea. I just know I'm not well. So,
Okay.
yep.
Well, we know what that means.
I guess.
Or maybe not. It
I
all depends.
guess.
It all depends. Because I know you're a little tired. I saw on your Instagram you were fueling up, I think, with some caffeine.
Oh yeah,
Is
I've been
that
on
the
a
deal?
caffeine. I've been on a caffeine IV all day. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, so
Hmm. Yeah, I got a
I'm
little
sh-
more than you, but
I'm sure
um,
tonight will be interesting.
tonight's show or tonight after the show? What are you talking
Just
about?
period.
Okay. Maybe we'll get a little more of that. So, yes. So last week's show, we kind of wrapped and then continued with the whole dating theme. And from that conversation came other comments that are leading us into tonight's theme. And we're going to get into what I think you referred to as false advertising, kind of sort of in dating. And I think it applies. I mean, I even think of it in a broader sense in the world, just like this image of perfection that everybody seems to need, want to put across. And again, here I go with social media being, um, you know, with all the ways we can display the perfect life, the perfect body, the perfect, relationship, whatever. Um, and I think that fuels it. But we'll get into that. But we're also going to look at it in the dating world and just even interacting with people for different reasons. I mean, there are different things that people are going after and feel the need to have the perfect image to get it. So we're gonna get into that. Welcome, Mr. KINETIC. How are you?
I'm here.
You are. You
Right,
sound alive.
right. Good. I hope it stays that way.
Okay, at least for the next what hour and a
Yeah,
bit.
right.
Okay. And it is the first night of the regular season, NBA season that is.
Right.
So that's a little exciting. I know some people might be watching the game while they listen in or doing both somehow. But I was taking in the New York um, and the other team. I can't stand them, but whatever. looked all right. It's weird to look at New York with those players, even though because I haven't watched too much of the preseason. I just can't waste my time on games that they don't take too seriously. So, but it's a good look though, New York. They're looking good. That's your team, right? You're
Yeah,
Knicks.
Knicks,
Yeah.
Knicks.
Yep. They're looking good. They're looking good.
I don't think they're gonna do much, to be honest, but they're all right. But
Yeah.
I'm half happy that they won't be in. They'll make the top eight. Won't go
Mhm.
anywhere.
Well, you
I
never
mean,
know. A lot can happen in a season or in even the first half. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes down.
What is poppin', lover?
Mhm.
Sorry,
Lover.
somebody just popped in and
Oh,
and said that their mother was downstairs. Y'all need to cease and
I
desist.
thought you said was a poppin'
I
lover. I
wasn't
thought we heard a little bit of a
even.
personal conversation back there. I was like,
yeah,
shh,
that's what I heard. I heard
let's
what
listen,
happened,
Kinetic.
mama?
Let's get
Personal
her on tape.
conversation.
Yeah, we got quiet though. We're like,
Y'all went mute real quick. Let me just sip on my ginger tea and mind my business. Y'all tried it.
oh gosh. Oh, okay. It was close though. Kind of fun. But
Like
yes.
we find Cake Bay number two.
Well,
The
let me
real
know.
cake day. Yeah.
Yeah, we already know the real cake bays in Jamaica, but if you find cake bay number two, let me know.
You're staying far from that one, eh? And let me get you on that one.
Uh, well, yeah. You
Bay
gotta come
stands
to
for
Dragon
business and
Recovery.
entrepreneurship in this neck of the woods.
Okay.
So if we talking about cake, then y'all must be talking about coins.
Cake in. Exactly.
Hmm
And listen, you don't even bother. Let me start off on you, Miss KRC.
Guess what?
Oh,
I had an invitation to
you
be in
better cease
Jamaica
and desist right now.
with one of my besties, and I was like, "No, are you crazy? I have responsibilities. I have things to do here. I would not be joining you."
You better cease and desist.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, but as tempting as it was, oh my, yeah, but no, I'm not. Um, how was your week, Kinetic? What's up? What's up? What did you survive this week? Anything crazy?
Oh man, it's been a crazy month for me. Like I'm just setting up next quarter, and it's just been really crazy.
Busy? Okay.
Yeah, like well, you know what it is? It's a lot to do with, there's just a lot of setups. It's not
Oh Lord.
paying bills.
And it begins.
Where's this the struggle?
Ooh, and the struggle is so very
Hear
real.
you. So annoying.
Y'all just went bitmap on me.
Yeah, you. You. Okay. So we're going to get into this whole I've been thinking about this a lot and I'm going to actually post some images, but I didn't really, it's hard for me to post these before and after images when it comes to the makeup and it's makeup artists put them up
Mm,
for the right reason to say look at my work. Look how amazing this makeup, this before and after is.
that
And
black
then these
magic.
right? And then these get turned into the craziest memes ever. And where, people are saying it should be illegal, calling it, yeah, the magic, sorcery, all this crazy stuff. And I feel so bad for these women. It's usually women. I mean, there are some with men um, who use different pieces, hair pieces to act, beards and hair lines when they have none or they're very receded or whatever. Um, so, but these people put the image up for a nice, the right reason, and then they, like I said, get turned into, I think, the most embarrassing thing these people like may experience online because you have thousands of people chiming in saying how disgusting you look before. And of that, I remember that hashtag, which I think I used tonight, take her swimming on the first date. Meaning,
But
yeah,
you're
let's see the real her, like get her hair wet, dunk her in some water, see all that makeup come off, and let's see what's really good. Um, I guess you can go as far as to use,
But y'all address
waist
that.
trainers.
Y'all addressed it.
I guess the waist trainers underneath and everything like that, like that they, so I guess when your clothing is wet, you're gonna see all that underneath. So it's about revealing the truth, right? But and sometimes, I'm on both sides where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I think people need to let someone know the truth and let them know what they enhance or things that they change. I don't know about permanent changes because if it's permanent and you wouldn't even know either way unless you
Oh,
feel
you'd
it or
know.
whatever. Yeah, in some ways. But I mean, let's say someone I don't know, did something to, like, they had their ears pinned back. Maybe their ears stuck out before and they had their ears pinned back. Well, I mean, if you get to the point where like you're thinking of reproducing with this person, like having a child, then maybe is that something you should say because there's a chance that your child might come out with their ears. But would it be a big problem if you love the person? So I think something that's not going to change in front of their eyes is probably not really something you have to discuss right off the bat. But
Sorry. No. let me
are you
let
just
me
letting it breathe? Or are you actually
no.
reacting?
Let me explain my shady sound effects
Okay.
because
Yeah, because I just said a whole lot right there, so I don't want to keep going on. Let's do piece by piece, but let's
let
go.
me explain my shady side
Yeah.
effects. And I'm still waiting to see whether or not this is true because I've heard conflicting information. So in Asia, in China to be exact, was it China or Hong Kong? I'm not
I think it
sure.
was Japan. Oh, that man who sued. Oh yeah,
Yes, there was a
that's
man who
real.
married
But
a
you go
very
ahead.
beautiful woman, and they ended up having 2 or 3 children, and her genetics were super strong. So her pre-op face ended up on her children. And her husband was unaware of what she looked like pre-op. So he ended up suing her for false advertising, misrepresentation of information, and fraud. So here's the thing about faking it to make it. I'm going to backtrack to the whole take her swimming on the first date. So I remember when take her swimming was a hashtag on Black Twitter, and then all the makeup artists came out in savage, what could only be called Bay High formation. And there were videos all over Vine, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube of makeup artists doing full-on makeup beats and then getting in the shower and the makeup not shifting to the left, right, up, or down. Like it sat.
Hmm.
Um, Whether it was, because there's like a waterproof everything,
That's
and
what I
that's like
say.
what a lot
Waterproof.
of, like there is some makeup that
Hmm.
doesn't come off unless you have specific wipes. And this is like theater or like movie makeup that's
Remover.
built or created to withstand, hot lights, you know, scenes where somebody's supposed to be in a tornado or a hurricane. It's not supposed to ship for consistency and for the cost of production. So some of these products are available for purchase, especially with professional makeup artists. But if you're an amateur, they're available on Amazon, if you know the name of them, or eBay. So take her swimming may not be your most viable option because realistically, there is makeup that goes nowhere. Like it doesn't rub off on pillows. It doesn't rub off on shirts if you hug her or hug him. So that may not be your best option. I mean, you can hand her a wet wipe, but it might not come off anyway. How about that? So that's number one.
Very true.
Uh, Number two, push-up bras, waist trainers, butt lifters, um, veneers, lace front, lace frontals, lace wigs, like the gamut. And I'm speaking on the female perspective because I'm gonna come to y'all fellas who are listening. Don't act like y'all don't be trying to fake it to make it either. But the gamut of paraphernalia that is available that the average male would have to work through when he's dealing with a bad bee is fairly extensive. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, y'all are looking at them looking all bad, and they lace panties and they crop tees and they thigh high American Apparel socks on Instagram. There's angles. So even after she gets that Coke bottle figure and she's gone to
American Apparel socks.
the American Apparel socks. Those are the ones that go all the way up to like your crotch. Every chick who wears thigh high socks on whatchamacallit on Instagram knows that they're American Apparel. It's a no fact. Photographers will be like, yes, so it's the season for American Apparel photo shoots. Everybody knows. Understand this. Once you get past all of that paraphernalia, there is still angles. So a chick could be on Instagram every day without any waist cinchers, without any butt lifters, body looking banging, and she's hitting all the right angles. And she's half naked. So she's not really faking, well, except for Photoshop. And there are apps for that. But understand this, there are doctors who are literally multimillionaires creating the fantasy that men subscribe to. And the thing that I find
certain men subscribe to.
Oh, listen, I said men. I didn't say which men. I didn't say all men. I just said men. So if you're not one of the men, then it does not apply to you. But the men who subscribe to this are making these women famous. Are giving these women extremely lucrative careers. So I always find it hilarious and I'm speaking from my observation of the male species, when men want to talk about being hoodwinked and bamboozled. But a lot of those same men who are on Black Twitter going in on chicks who wear waist cinchers and lace frontals and makeup and false lashes and yada, 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 are the ones still sliding in their DMs, talking about, damn, Ma, you look bad. Why your ass so fat? When you gonna let me fly you out? When you gonna let me take care of you? Why you always fronting and flexing on me? Can't nobody treat you the way that I treat you. But in public, you want to be going in about these silicone chicks. Listen, when Nicki Minaj first came out and got her fake booty, which I like to call ant life booty, it's the same booty that Khloe Kardashian has. It's the same booty that Kim Kardashian has. It appears that only Kylie paid attention to ratios because her thighs are actually, the right ratio to her booty, her new booty, although she may continue to increase, at which point we'll have to see whether or not she also suffers from ant life booty. But when these chicks first came out with their ant life booties, men, not all men, but men lost their ever-loving minds. Oh my God, Nicki ass so fat. Oh my God, I need me a Persian chick. I gotta get me a foreign. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they, in essence, created an industry, because now if you go to Miami, for example, I was in Miami Labor Day weekend, and I happened to have the radio on. You can finance the plastic surgery necessary for you to have ant life booty. You can put it on a payment plan. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. You can still have that South Beach body. There are doctors in the Dominican Republic, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Miami, Dr. Miami, Dr. Curve. Like, understand this. There are chicks who literally have parlayed these fake bodies or these reconfigured bodies into multi-million-dollar empires, and the person who wrote the playbook is Kim Kardashian. And she's parlayed it into clothing, hair extensions, lipsticks, magazine covers, a fairly dysfunctional marriage. A TV show that's like in its 16th season? Like, how many times are we going to see Kim cry about the fact that Courtney doesn't take her seriously and Courtney thinks she's stupid? That's every season, bro. Every season. So that's women. When it comes to dudes, there's prosthetics for dudes. I've seen, chest plates. I've seen bicep sleeves. I've seen cups made to give you the appearance of, that print in sweatpants. Some of y'all dudes aren't that cute once we shave your beards. If we're going to be real honest, some of y'all, like, your beard is the only reason why you're getting played, because before you grew that facial hair, you were you were the friend zone neighborhood president. Like, you were part of the neighborhood watch committee for the friend zone. But that beard came in, and like a push-up bra, all of a sudden you were part of the beard gang, and chicks lost their mind. I've seen plenty of fine dudes on the internet when they have a beard, and then I'm like, so what did you look like before? Like, what do you look like when you shave? Jawline ain't as square as it looks when you have a beard. Your lips don't look as cute. Yeah, you're still going, like...
Yes, pretty good. But
there's
they would argue that that's natural. That's growing out of his out of his own skin, his own face. It's just he chooses to keep it and keep it groomed.
Well, I mean, if a woman
Right?
gets a Brazilian butt lift, the fat is coming out of her body. It's just being redirected. So it was still fat that was in her body. If we're going to start talking semantics, talking about, oh, well, because let's be very clear, okay? I remember when Mr. Steal Your Grandma, who's actually Mr. Steal Your Grandson, first started popping on the internet. And everybody was like, oh my God, he's so fine. He a silver fox and he part of the beard gang. All the blogs are losing their minds. And then somebody put up a picture of him without a beard and it was like crickets. I was literally like, oh, so,
that, yeah.
so y'all ain't about this life no more because Randall ain't got no facial hair. Oh, okay. So
Totally
beards are to men what bundles are to women. Just understand that.
But it's natural. The only thing, and so, I mean, in some cases, because some men are buying and putting things
Okay,
on.
so you've
I don't
never
know how
watched your
often,
weave?
or they are, you know, I guess they could dye, like some guys who,
Listen, there are lace front beards.
I've seen that foolishness.
There's also lace front hairlines because LeBron's hairline moves back and forward depending on what season it is.
Comeback, they said that.
Listen, and I ain't knocking it. Jamie Foxx's hairline changes depending on the movie. So I mean, listen, lace fronts are not specific to women. I've seen like entire YouTube tutorials on like male high tops. Like some of y'all are like kicking it with dudes talking about, oh girl, I love him. He got that good hair, and that good hair came out of a bag like your good hair. So y'all both lying about you got Indian in your family. He's from the tribe of the smoking mahogany. You from the tribe of the squatting turtle, and both of y'all are bare as a baby's back when the time comes. So about that.
And like the funniest is when you stumble upon it, right? Because I used to like not that I was instructed to look for something in the bathroom.
You came across his lace front?
No, I came across the box with the I don't know whatever curl relaxer curl box.
Oh, the curlaxer. Like, see, I don't have an issue with like if you text.
No, but it was the box. Yeah, it was that, and I thought, oh, okay, I didn't know.
I'm not talking about the text. Like, I'm not talking about the just for men. I'm talking about like tracks.
I get that.
But I'm talking about like 16 inches and it gets lined up. Listen, everybody knows when a man is faking the good curls.
Talking texture, that factors in too. And when it's a hidden fact, and it depends on the story people tell, right? When it adds up. And that's the thing. This question was to come later, but is it different when you're open about it? And so it's the same fake, it's the same, additions, but if you're open and honest and real with it in the beginning and you give a person a chance to accept it or not, I mean, does that make a difference? Like,
here's my thing. I think it all comes down to authenticity, because the whole thing about faking it is that everybody does things in order to showcase themselves in the best light. Whether it is, you put on makeup because you want to showcase your eyes, hypothetically speaking, or the fact that you have nice lips. Whether it's the fact that you go to a tailor to get a suit cut to highlight the fact that you have nice shoulders, even if you have a pot belly. Whether it's, that barber lineup that, gets women ready to, be your baby mama, even though they know you don't have good credit. Whatever the case may be, everybody is looking to put their best foot forward. Personally, for me, I have no problem telling people the truth. Like, listen, and here's my whole thing. You can't come for me if I already told you what it is. Like, ain't nobody gonna rock up on Miss Supernerd and be like, yeah, girl, so I heard that your hair ain't yours and your eyes ain't yours and your booty ain't yours. Because I'm like, boo-boo, my booty's African. I get that from Jesus. My eyes are mine. And if you want the website where I get my hair, I got you. Just ask nicely. And I'll tell you exactly why. I don't throw this hair in my hair in order for me to look different. I throw this hair in my hair because I don't like combing it. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why. But bald-headed is what Yolanda is not. And anybody who's ever met me, if you rock up on me and you go, oh, girl, your hair is cute, I'm like, you on the website? I don't front or flex on nobody. A dude talks to me and he's like, damn, girl, you got that good hair. I'm like, for what I pay for it, I better have that good hair.
And that's the thing. And so do you feel when people compliment your hair, this is something that I've noticed, like I have have friends over the
Mm-hmm.
years who people have complimented when I have weave,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, and they'll at certain times people thought, you know,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, okay, that was my hair," and then I'm like, "Oh no," and I tell, and I've had a friend say, "Why do you tell them? Like, why do you know, why do you correct them? Why don't you just?" And I'm like, "Why not? Like, it's not. I mean, I'm just speaking the truth. It's not that I feel the need to reveal to everybody like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a fraud, but it's just it's
Oh no, I'll
it,
tell
it
you if it's fraudulent. For me, my whole thing is I'm good with or without it. Like if you thought that you trying to
exactly.
call me out for having these bundles in my hair was going to make me feel some type of way about how I see myself, that's where you got lost. I need you to bust a U, go back, hang a left, and see where you got me all the way effed up. Because you can rock up on me and be like, "Girl, I know that's not yours." I'll be like, "Well, we both know that now, don't we? So did you want a brownie cookie? Did that change your credit score? Did that stop your baby daddy from cheating? No, none of the above. So what was your point?
Hmm.
What was it? I'm waiting. Oh, well, but the funny thing is, I've also noticed that when I'm just me, meaning no makeup, and I 95% of the time, if you see me on the street, I don't have makeup on. I just don't feel, I don't understand. And I'm not knocking chicks who put on makeup every day, but I've seen those YouTube tutorials and I'm tired. Like the contouring and the highlighting and the bronzer and the Metro Boom high beam on the cheekbones and the eyebrow tutorial and how to put on eyelash extensions. Listen, I start getting stressed. I can literally feel my blood pressure rising whenever I see eyelash tutorials. So I'll go ahead and I'll pay somebody to just put eyelash extensions on, so I don't need to think about it. I'm just gonna tell everybody the truth. I don't have time. I could blind myself trying to do half the stuff that happens on YouTube, and I salute any chick who can do that and who does that on a daily basis. But that's what I will not be doing. But 9 times out of 10, when you catch me on the street, I'm usually banging a ponytail or braids with no makeup, and everybody thinks that I'm 24 and I don't get any attention. But when Yolanda throws in some bundles and I decide to get some eyelash extensions and I might put on some concealer and some foundation, all of a sudden I'm getting double takes. And I'm like, so I'm still the same chick. Nothing's really changed about me, but I'm cute now. I wasn't cute before because I walk up and down the street every day to go to work and I've seen you. You just forgot that you saw me. And I call people out. So when dudes like step to me when I have the, in quotation marks, good hair and it's blowing in the wind and it's got body and it's luscious, and they're like, "Dang, you're just gonna walk by and not say hi." And I'll be like, "I've been walking by for 6 months. You worried about me not saying hi today? Because of this wig? Boo, I'll snatch this off in the middle of the street. I will shock you and all these Caucasians. What you think this is?
So
This is a
Kinetic, tell
game."
me, as a man, you meet a woman and you love her hair? Like I have a little story to tell about that too. Do you feel the need if you compliment her on her hair, and it's not all hers? Maybe she has some tracks in some pieces, or she has a like maybe it's a wig. Do you feel that she should let you know that? And I mean, this is, let's say you're on a first date or, you know what I mean? Something like that. Like someone, not just a random, like you're just passing someone in the mall or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're actually showing interest and you're spending time. Do you think that she should let you know it's not all grown out of her scalp?
Well, put it
Or
this
does
way.
it not matter?
Well, you see, this is my position on it, right? The first things first is that, like a job interview, anybody going on a date, on a first date or first couple dates, are putting their best foot forward. So I'm assuming that everything is fake, and I'd rather be pleasantly surprised when it's not.
Valid.
So that, when you go on that first date, everybody, I'm putting myself together. You know what I mean? Or I'm having that conversation. If she tells me she likes gray tracksuits, I might come in a black one, but I'm wearing a tracksuit. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're putting your best foot forward because it's about representation and attraction and appeal and sex appeal and all that good stuff, right? So I assume everything is fake. Eyelashes, eyebrows, hair, you know what I
Oh
mean?
Lord.
But everything. That's why I said 9 times out of 10,
Mm.
I still hold to it because you know what? Even if she has a wig on, it ain't gonna be a wig looking so well inside that water. I still say, yo, take her to water park. You go swimming, go to the condo pool, go to the jacuzzi, go in the sauna, everything. Anything to and
But see,
you just
here's
have
the
a good
catch
conversation.
22. As an African chick, because I braid hair, like there's some. But listen, there are some exclusive wigs out there where like it goes from bone straight to good curls, and the hairline don't shift. Like like dudes need to understand that like, as my cousin would call it, the bitchcraft is real and it's deep.
Right.
So that whole take her to the pool and take her to the, take her to Wild Water Kingdom, take her somewhere where she ends up having to take a shower, take her to the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards so she can get slammed. Whatever you want to do, I need y'all to understand. Chicks can fake a hairline. Chicks can fake a hair texture. Like I've seen wigs that you can part anywhere. So that whole take her to the pool thing, you might want to try something different. Just saying, ladies, don't try and come for my
Well,
throat
as I
because
said,
it's all over Instagram. So it's not just me putting y'all on blast. The hairstylists already did it. All right.
I was saying though, going forward though, and I think, as I said, though, there's certain attributes of a woman. I'm not into the fake Barbies. You know what I mean? Quote. I like women with short hair.
You cutting out again.
I don't get it every time I'm speaking. But anyway, what it comes down to is I don't do the the drawn eyebrow kind of girls, or and all that stuff. I mean, there's certain things that you can still take or still tell that are fake, and so that's what it comes down to. If she has a little weave on her, she wants a hairstyle change, or on. Like, I mean, it is what it is. But when they start getting into the plastic surgery and pinning back ears and butt implants, or what's it called? What that stupidness they inject in their face?
Botox
Botox.
or fillers. Yeah.
Yeah. When they start doing that, that's not the mentality of woman that I want to be with to begin with.
So what if it's subtle and it actually you wouldn't know it? But just by looking at it, she looks normal. It's she does it once in a
But it is
while just
normal.
to enhance.
No,
But what
that's
I'm
the thing
saying
is,
is she doesn't
remember,
look
it is normal.
freakish.
Nowadays, it's normal.
It is, but I mean, it doesn't look crazy. Like you could see people that have just gone too far and don't know when to stop. But if you couldn't tell that something was done and so it looked okay, then would it be a problem? Or do you feel that people should reveal at some point to the other person, these are the things I've done that have enhanced my look or changed it? Because like we said about having children possibly, or things can change. Maybe if I don't decide to do my filler touch up in 6 months or Botox, I may look a little different in 6 months, 8 months. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
do you think before you fall deep, madly in love with this person, or you start getting, you've invested your time, money into this situation, and at that point, the real quote unquote person comes out physically and you're like, not really what I signed up for. And I mean, would you blame someone at that point?
This is a conversation you have to get into before you start deciding that, hey, I'm getting serious. You see, that's the problem with people are in lust a lot with the idea of the person, not the person, and they don't ask these pertinent questions. It might be brave to say, or very forward to say, but hey, I'm gonna ask about your credit.
Well.
That was the other thing. That's the other thing, because that's image as well. We're getting to that.
Right. I'm gonna. You know what? Just because you're in Gucci every day and all that doesn't mean your credit cards ain't maxed and that you're carrying a $45,000 debt.
And the church said, "Amen. Please pass the collection plate."
Right. Those are the questions. Those are conversations that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to sit down there and say, you know what? Do you weave? Like, you know what I mean? Or you're or those things you're supposed to observe. Just because a girl looks good for a month, you take your time and get to know that girl. You go out. If you start seeing her change her hair and her hair change every other week, weekly, her hairstyle change, then she got weave. Then you have those conversations. How much you spend on your hair? of woman that's going to affect your future. The woman that you choose reflects who you are, also, and vice versa, of course. But I'm just talking about from a male perspective, but also will affect your pocketbook, because guess what? Point, you're going to be accepted to help upkeep that look and that lifestyle.
With certain women.
And I was about to say, and if you're not, is it a concern still? If you're not,
No,
it has
that's what I'm
nothing
saying.
to do.
But my thing is more about the mentality. Is for me.
Yeah.
It's about the mentality. I'm not into that kind of woman. There's nothing wrong with, okay, I'm going to a wedding, or, I'm going to a engagement. I just want to enhance. But when it becomes not what you do, then we have a problem.
Okay, so try to explain to me what that type of woman is, because that's important. Like, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I just want you to try to explain what that type of woman is.
Well, as I said, when it I guess what is it? I guess the medium or the tall tale. What it comes down to for me is when, you know what? One of the big things. Actually, I was having this conversation with a girlfriend, not this particular conversation, but this aspect of it. She's asked me, do I like short hair on the women, or tall, or long hair on the women, and or what attributes do I look like, look for in a woman and stuff of that nature. And she said I could never answer straight. You know what? I like as long as it looks good on the woman, that's what I like. So if it looks short, if a woman's into a boy cut short hair and looks good on her, I don't even care if she has long hair, as long as it looks good on her. It's her attribute, right? So, but the thing is, when you start investing more money into having weaves and things to change your look to try to find yourself, that's the kind of mentality that I'm not into. When you're always not satisfied with who you are, or comfortable with who you are, again, it's not an enhancement because it's a special engagement. It is a lifestyle need. You can't walk out the door because you don't have makeup on. You're going to take half an hour to go contour and put on things just to go to the mall. Then I have a problem with that. Or
it's even worse. I mean, there are stories. There are people that even in their house, their homes with their spouses, that they never let them see them without makeup. So they sleep in makeup. They wake up. They'll go take a shower.
There was actually
cleanse their face, but then before they come out of that bathroom, they have their face beat again, that type of thing. So
there was a story about a woman in India. Actually, you had a story about, I was hearing about your story about the guy with his kids and all that stuff, and he sued. There was actually I think it was India. What happened was this man never saw this woman without makeup. He married her, got engaged, married her, and then he actually thought the woman was somebody that broke into his house and beat her out of his own house. And then when he found out that was his wife, he sued her for false representation.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's crazy.
And when you see the difference, you'd think it was somebody that broke into your house too. You'd be like, it was night and day. I'm talking about, they made Cleopatra look like, because Cleopatra was famous for that. She was not really a good-looking woman, but when she put on her makeup, she was the most flawless woman on the face of the planet at the time.
Hey.
Right.
So here's my thing, though. It's because there are some women who do their hair. They're always wearing a weave, and they switch it up. They do short, long, different colors. I mean, tasteful. Some of them are still actually, they look good. And then you have other women that, they take their weave out, they put it right back in, and they always have a weave. But they are, they do it for different reasons, or they do it mainly just to switch it up, because these are people, like, that's their thing. Like, you have people that do accessories. So rings, earrings, necklaces, that's their thing. That's
you see,
that's
but you gotta understand.
No,
but for me, for what it comes down to is this: is that when you, again, if it's for enhancement, there's a different story. But a person that hairstyle, changes their eyes, changes their thing, that means they don't have real self-love. It's very low because they are always. I'm
I
talking
beg
about
to
on a
differ.
regular basis. I'm talking about a regular.
I change my hair on a regular basis. That's why I beg to differ.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
didn't.
but
But
you
do you
said you're
change your
going
eye
to.
color?
Oh,
Yeah, do you change your eye color? Do you change your, you know what I mean, your everything? You know, looking for different looks, or just or being them. Like, you know what? You know, it's the same idea for me. That's the same. It's just one step down from cake soap.
So, oh, bleaching, that's a whole different conversation.
Well, that's
So
what I'm saying, but
here's
it's the same kind of mentality that would who do cake soap will go get a boob job or go get a butt implant or, you know what, or get a nose job.
here's the takeaway for
not
me
necessarily.
personally in terms of
Okay.
changing appearance. I don't
Hmm.
necessarily change the color of my eyes because I love my eyes. Like that's there are very few things that I feel the need to change or augment. And if there are things that require changes, I would rather go through work. There was a time when, based on the industry that I was in and based on the expectation of that industry, it triggered insecurities. And I was in it and I was getting paid to be in that industry. So it was a job. But I can understand how women who are not in the beauty industry, whether they're not makeup artists, they're not models, they're not designers, they're not stylists, can feel a ridiculous amount of pressure to match these unrealistic and synthetic beauty standards. Um, it is the same reason why hair relaxers used to fly off the shelves because for women of color, specifically women of African descent, our natural hair pattern was not considered acceptable. So we had to chemically alter how we looked in order for us to feel like we were validated or in order for us to feel like we could fit into society. And now that has changed from hair relaxers to wigs to makeup to the waist cinchers to the flat tummy tees and the T-toxes and the booty enhancements to the surgery and to all that other good stuff. For me personally, when I change my hair, 9 times out of 10, it's about convenience. When I choose a hairstyle, yes, I want the aesthetic to look great, but if anybody asks me, I'm not pursuing the aesthetic because I somehow am seeking external validation. I'm choosing the aesthetic because my hair aesthetic is always the same unless it's a short haircut. It's going to be big and it's going to be long because 9 times out of 10, I only have to do one thing to it. That is install it and then ignore it. And that for me works for me because of my schedule. But
Listen, but there's.
if somebody, wait, let me finish. If
Yeah.
somebody was to catch me on the street without, a wig, a weave, or braids in my hair, and I just had like two dookie braids going straight back, or I had two pigtails, or I had a bun, I'm still good with me. And
Right.
I have friends who change their aesthetic on a weekly basis. Like they own like literally collections of wigs. And these are extremely confident women who've learned to fall in love with themselves. But for them, it's a creative expression. Just like makeup for makeup artists is a creative expression. So it's not that they feel they could come out, like I said, barefaced just like me, hair not done. They're good. As long as they took a shower, they got clean clothes on, and they go into the grocery store, they can come
But
out just
that
like that and
is
not have
exactly
any
what.
accoutrement. So I think that it's invalid to say that if a woman consistently changes her hairstyle or changes her appearance, that she's insecure. For some people, it's creative expression.
Well, as I said, you know what? What I see, but the key point to what I said was that when it becomes not a requirement, not or not a aesthetic change, not a just a change, when it becomes a requirement, when you're trying to look other than yourself all the time, that's when I draw the line. Like, you know what? We all went, even I went through that. Believe it or not, I'm gonna put you all on something. 'Cause I was famous for this. I was famous for bone straight hair, pineapples, and finger waves, pretty boy GQ, bell bottoms and GQ suits
Hey.
back
Hmm.
in the house days.
Hmm.
That it wasn't because I was trying to be white. It was just one of those things that was trying, to transcend. We were my crew. We all used to look back, like, like in the Malcolm X days and stuff like that, or Malcolm Little days. And when they did that, when all that old '60s styles came out, we started rocking those styles because it was house party. We went to real underground warehouse parties and was GQ'd out. Our hair was done. You know what? We were more metrosexual than the metrosexuals. it's just one of those things. So it's not about it's about expression, style, being a part of that whole environment. So I get that. Guess what? After that, I cut off my hair. It became straight, straight ball, and I've been the same for about 20 plus years. So it's not a matter of I don't understand that aesthetically you want to look different, because as I said, I used to have bone straight hair, finger waves, pineapples, like, you know what I mean? All of that.
See, my thing is, here's the, like, and I think for everybody is different. Obviously, we know this, right? But I'm here thinking back to like different points in my life. You're bringing me back with all that, like not that far, not that deep.
I can't relate. I don't even know what he's talking about, but continue.
No. But I'm here scanning, and the thing is, I've worn like I've worn natural, I've worn weave, I've cut my hair like short on a number of occasions. Halle Berry made me do it at one point.
Hey, Halle.
Right, and didn't really look like Halle Berry, but the hair looked like it. I wasn't trying to look obviously like her, but being influenced, and so I've had fun with my hair. I've dyed it. I've had it dyed like at one point red, like a really nice bright red that I used to have to upkeep like every 2 weeks, because as soon as the black roots start coming in, we just ran down to Jasmine, was like, oh no. So the upkeep is real. So even with the natural hair, and then the natural hair, natural texture hair, that is, you talk about makeup and contouring and the time and effort and the money, that natural hair, crazy. But it's beautiful. So everybody decides where they want to put their time. I know where my time goes in. I wear makeup. Like I'm the type of person, when I'm going out to work or out to an event or anything like that, I do my makeup. I don't get into contouring and all that. Like I've done makeup professionally, and I believe for me, that's for photo shoots and be under crazy lights and you're at an event or something like that, or you're being showcased. However, I'm not going to knock whatever makes someone feel good, but I'll see some people in real life every day walking down the street, contour, beat, blah, blah. I'm like, I know that looked a lot better in your bathroom light where you had it like perfect matching, but under the different lights that you walk through in real life, the shade, like the dark shading here, really is not working. It's not cute, but who am I to say, whatever makes you feel good? Who am I to step to someone and say that
no, but okay,
you're not happy with yourself? No. But
but listen. There's doing makeup.
But whatever makes, I know, but whatever makes, sometimes you go back to whatever makes that person feel good when they walk out their door, and
well, some of you should be real friends and send them back.
For the record, we in my crew never let one member step out looking a mess.
Right.
Have y'all met me?
Oh no.
People are thinking it. If one person can look at you and think it, that means everybody's thinking it.
Yeah, not necessarily, because one person can be a hater. There's always that one chick who just has nothing positive to say. So let's be clear. Here's my whole thing, to circle back to the topic of conversation, because this is specific to dating. I think that for me, my whole thing is, whether it's external changes or faking it in other aspects. So this goes into faking personalities, faking skill sets, faking finances, faking careers,
education.
Yes. Somebody got blocked yesterday. Don't try me. My whole thing is, for me, it all comes down to being authentically yourself and being transparent about who you are, and first and foremost, being comfortable in your skin no matter how you dress it. Like, my whole issue with the whole fake everything situation, that I agree with KINETIC on, is when you're faking it because you do not see value in yourself, and you do not see yourself as being a person of value without all those external, upgrades, updates, and changes. Like the chick who got jumped by her own husband because she didn't look like self. Self was like, that ain't me. And once again, I'm a big person on understanding what the backstory is. I never make the assumption that I'm petty and I'm shady, let's be clear, but I'm always very interested in understanding what led a person to be who they are. So in the case of the woman in India, or the case of the woman in Asia who got sued by her husband, there is a social stigma if you're a certain shade. There is a social stigma if your nose does not look a certain way. The most lucrative plastic surgery market is in Asia. Girls as young as 14 get plastic surgery because they don't have the right eyelids. They don't have the right nose. Bleaching creams are normal.
Can I cut
In
in?
fact,
The
yeah.
craziest thing I've ever seen, the limbs, they are stretching or like adding length to their limbs. So they're so between their
Taller
ankle,
and
yeah, they are
yeah.
actually going in and getting surgery to stretch. I can't remember if they added how they did it exactly, but and this is in Asia. And yeah,
Mhm.
like you said, the eyes,
Noses, lips. And so understanding where that is coming from, understanding that this is the result of generational
yes,
trauma,
decades, yeah.
and this is what's now being reflected. My question always goes back to what were the conversations that these young men and women were having as they were growing up? Because it all starts at home for me. So if I see somebody on the street and they hair, like I used to be the first person to start talking smack. Y'all know I'm shady. I used to be the first person. I see somebody on the street, hair looking crazy, edges not quite matching, the hang time, makeup looking like drag queen or looking like you about to get shot like all them clowns in the U.S. Clothes not fitting right. I used to be the first person to judge. And then, I remember watching Precious with Gabourey Sidibe, and I love Gabourey because she's authentically herself and she's unapologetically herself, and she's not willing to
Have you
change to
seen her
accommodate other people. If she changes, it'll
lately?
be for herself,
That's it.
as
Have you
opposed
seen her
to
lately?
no.
A lot of weight.
Okay, but I mean that's fine. But the change didn't come. I mean, she's been in the industry for almost 8 years now, and the change came because she made the decision to. It wasn't a requirement, or she did it for a role. But it wasn't like she woke up and she submitted to Hollywood pressure. So my whole thing is this. I look at women like Alicia Keys, who started the whole, or who publicized the no makeup movement, because I'm not going to say she started it, because that's just giving her a little too much credit, because there are plenty of women who haven't ever put makeup on their face and they were doing just fine before Alicia Keys made it a thing. But I look at women like Alicia Keys, who spoke about how the pressure of the media made her feel less than, unless she was beat for blood, and hair was laid and waist was cinched and ass was sitting and yada yada yada. And I understand the pressure the exact same way that I understand the pressure when men lie about their finances, when men lie about their careers, because
Yeah.
there's this perpetuation of excessive wealth, when you look at rappers, and people are forgetting that these dudes are renting these clothes, they're renting these cars, they're renting this jewelry. That money that they're flashing, somebody's going to pick up every single dollar and deposit it right back into their manager's bank account, because it isn't his money. He doesn't own that house, it's a lease. Where the pressure comes from a societal perspective. I think from a dating perspective, especially if you're looking to get into a serious relationship, if y'all are just kicking it, y'all are just kicking it. Listen, lower your expectations and calm your tits. But if you're looking at somebody and you're thinking, this is somebody that I can see myself in the long term with, you need to start having difficult conversations. And my recommendation to anybody who is dating somebody and you start to think that this is a real thing is there are 2 books that y'all should be reading together. Number 1 is the 5 love languages, because it will help you understand the psyche of the person that you're dating. And number 2 is 1001 questions to ask before getting married. Now, you may not be marrying this woman, you may not be marrying this man, but these 2 books are going to make you ask the type of questions that you need to ask before you enter into a serious committed relationship. Because if you live in Canada and you and Bay live together for 24 months, you're married. The paper is just a formality. And legally, your assets go from individual assets to joint assets, meaning that when y'all break up, your boyfriend or your girlfriend could actually sue you for alimony. So it might be in your best interest to not only ask about somebody's spending habits and ask about somebody's finances, but to understand whether or not you co-signing a crazy person. And whether or not you love the crazy and you good with it, or it's a nah. And that requires people to be honest, which is why I personally have no problem being very transparent about me, myself, and I, and everything that, listen, you give the disclaimer on the first telephone conversation so we don't waste each other's time. Like, we're not dragging this out. I might not even want to go to coffee with you.
See, I
So
think
before
way early for me to be revealing everything about me, and
I reveal enough for you to make a decision about whether or not you want to be seen in public with me. Because I'm going to ask questions. Because I'm going to ask questions that are going to make. Because listen, here's the thing. I don't have time to be hoodwinked and bamboozled. If I was 24, we have time to kick it and have fun.
Yeah,
that's cute. At 32, like, are we doing this or not? Like, if we have a conversation and, you know, your dating profile or your social media profile says, you know, you're sick and tired of people playing games, you're ready to settle down. But in the first conversation, you ask me what my booty look like when I don't have pants on, and you ask me what my bra size is, you full of shit. So let's just get that out there. So I ask questions, and my questions are not the standard, oh, so, you know, what's your favorite color and where did you go to high school? I ask questions like, what do you want your legacy to be? Because I need to know where your mental is. And if your legacy is, oh, well, you know, I want to be balling, you're not the kind of man that I want to date. Because the kind of man that I want to date is a community leader. He's there to make a positive shift, not only in his own life and in his family's life, but he's there to make a positive shift in his community's life because he understands that it's reciprocal. The more powerful his so
why did the Jamaican in me just want to come out and bust like 20 gunshots?
But anyway, my whole thing is people need to start asking hard questions.
Okay, so how much, you know, let's say his money isn't like all the way right now. His plan isn't devised, like he doesn't have it, but you.
How old is he?
I don't know. You can.
No, let's put a number on it. How old is he?
He's 30.
How old is him?
34.
He's 34.
34. So he's had time.
And he has
right.
Okay, so he doesn't know personal financial management. He doesn't have a plan. What's the question?
Not 100% set, but he has the right intention. He has the right heart. His heart is in the right place. His mind. He's ready for that, and he sees
then
you.
Be friends with his potential.
Forget all of what he wants to do in life. He sees you, and he's like, I want her in my life for whatever reason. Whatever reason, he just makes that decision, and he says, I got to do what I got to do to get her in my life. So I got to look the part, I got to sound the part, I got to speak the part. I could tell, and he kind of, you know, twists things a little, or just, you know, avoids answering the tough question because you're coming at him hard, but he knows how to, you know, kind of move to the left, move to the right, and still keep you on track. Though
I can't trust you.
That smile, you know, the conversation, the food's good.
If you can see my face right now.
But let's say he just does it, but he knows he's on the right track, and you being a part of his life is actually going to enhance it. Because, you know, a lot of people talk about, I don't want to get too far into this because it's another topic, but, you know, everybody should be 100% who they are, and you be 100% who you are. So when we meet, we're meeting 100%. It's not you complete.
I don't believe that.
Complete, you're complete, and you come together.
That's bullshit.
Sometimes, you know what? It's the right energy, the right person.
It's the 80-20 rule. Thank you.
Comes into your life. Right. So sometimes people have to kind of withhold information or shine it up a little.
Pause the Pinto on the 401. Pause the Pinto. So you're asking me this question as a woman. So he's 34, his money funny, and he doesn't know what he wants to do when he grows up. So here's my whole thing. Don't lie to me, because I've dated ex-felons. I've dated dudes who work at McDonald's. I've dated professional athletes. I've dated investment bankers, and I've dated the sons of political families. Let's be very clear. If I date somebody, I'm not dating what you have, I'm dating who you are. And my grandmother always said, power and beauty fade, but the character of a man is eternal. And I always go back to the episode of A Different World when Dwayne asked Whitley what kind of man she wants.
Love that.
And he said, she gave like a list of things that had nothing to do with money. And he said, but he's not rich. And she said, my love, that kind is never broke. But here's the thing. So my whole thing is, women, I'm going to speak about women, have this habit of dating a man's potential. Oh, well, you know, he has big dreams and I see what he wants to do. And that's fine. If you're real lucky, you're Michelle to Barack Obama and one day he's the president of the United States of America. High five, girl. We see you on the cover of Essence and we salute you. But a lot of chicks are pregnant or 3 kids deep to a man who still hasn't realized his potential and he's about to turn 50 next week. Okay? So my whole thing is, don't lie to me about your situation and then try and tell me it's because, oh, you know, I knew that you were going to leave me if, you know, I couldn't match up to these. Because now I can't trust you. Because what you've basically said when you lied to me is that I'm not intelligent enough to process the fact and I don't have the depth of character enough to value what you bring to the table. How dare you? So we ain't gonna kick it. And my whole thing is, if you're potential and you want me that bad, be my friend until you can be the man that you think I need. And if you can't wait, then you have a problem. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Because
So
if I'm what you,
Wow. Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying,
Have you ever kind of
bobbed and weaved.
yeah, no, yeah. Have you ever?
Yeah. Like, you know what?
Okay.
Everybody knows me to be a very, very straight shooter. And in the past, yes, like, you know what? When I had the persona of being the promoter and stuff of that nature, it was actually the other way around. When I was successful, I acted broke as hell.
Ooh, the test. I know that one. Because you got to know shit about it whether or not you got the coins.
Yeah, because really hard, what it comes down to is a lot of women out there, they see you as a promoter, they see you as a paycheck, or they see you as help.
A retirement plan.
They don't look at the person. They don't look at the man. They fall in love with the persona or the idea or the accessibility that they will get from, you know, you being around stars and, you know, hosting all these glamorous parties and or just club parties or whatever it may be, just for them to say, hey, I'm with him. You wouldn't even believe how much. I think it's even worse being a man successful than it is, you know, being a man that's broke that has to lie about being rich. You see, for me, like, you know what I have a little bit. I agree with a lot of what Miss Supernerd had just said, but I have a different perspective, and the advice I've always given my girlfriends or, you know, my nieces or you know things of that nature. Said this, look, it's not necessarily date a man with potential, but I differentiate between the two. I say this, look at the man's ability to network, how he treats people, does he have ambition? Potential and ambition are 2 different things. They coincide, they interchange, they correlate, but they are 2 different things. That's why they're 2 different words. See, the thing is, if a man, he will not be the man that will sit on his potential. He'll go get his thing. And if you see him working towards it every day, not potentially have a great idea, but he's actually getting up and working towards that goal and has a goal, has a plan, and you know what? He's too busy to date you or be at your drop of a dime. You know, that's the kind of man that you go for.
Or if the date is actually a hustle date, I'm down for those.
Yeah. You know,
What's that mean? What?
What's a hustle date? A hustle date is when you're both bosses in the making and you understand that you want to spend quality time with each other. So if you decide that you're going to spend quality time with each other, then you're going over each other's business plans. You can rub my feet, I can rub your head, but we're looking at fiscal plans. That's a hustle date.
Right.
And if we good after that, then maybe we can go for ice cream because we earned it. Because we understand that we're trying to build an empire or we're trying to leave behind a legacy that is bigger than the here and now.
But as I was stating, and I love that, I've never actually, you know, had conversations like we turn into how we're going to get this and how we're going to get that, and, you know, what our moves are and chess moves and things of that nature. The hustle, they actually like that idea. I'm going to try that one. But, you know, but for me, it's like, you know what, it's, as I said, it's the things that, you know what, I have the conversation like we're on a date. So I know I'll test the waters. I'll ask a woman, say, okay, if I gave you $5,000, what would you do with it? She tells me she's going to go, I'm going to go and, you know, buy a purse and buy some shoes and, you know,
it was nice
take a
you.
trip and stuff of that nature. You're not the girl for me. We can be friends and I'll teach you on the way about what's up. If you tell me that, you know what, you're gonna put away half of it and you're gonna go invest in, you know, some mutual fund or something of that nature and try to make some money or buy something to flip it, or, you know, believe it or not, I know you're gonna laugh, but even if you told me it was
Your phone's breaking up.
Start that again. Start that again. Even if we told you it was what?
Even if you told me that you go put savings and the marketing, huh?
You keep breaking up.
Start it again. Yeah, one more time.
I know. I guess. Yeah, I said even if you tell me that you're gonna, you know, put half into your savings, take the other half and go into multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I can work with that because that means you're business oriented. I can teach you better, or I can position you for more success. But that is something I can work with. But the woman I will get with, 100%, is the woman that tell me that, you know, she's gonna go find out how to double that money before buys her you know, her shoes and handbags and all that, and still have a principal. That's the woman for me.
And the church said amen.
Because, well, let's face it, women are women, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
All women are gonna buy handbags, huh?
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Women are women. All women are gonna buy handbags. They're all gonna buy purses. They're all gonna buy pretty things, and we want that for you. You're gonna do those things, but when you first get money in your hand, the first thing you do in spending, you're gonna make me broke. You represent me. Your extension of me.
I would probably be very insulted by your little test and say, I don't want you anyway, because the man is going to give me something and, you know, question me and what are you doing with it and blah, blah, blah.
No, well, no. And
I look into the future, I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, so you don't test dudes? You don't test dudes?
Who's going to be trying to
You don't test dudes?
Receipt and...
You don't test dudes?
No, but let's be real, though. Think about
it. No. You don't test dudes, Karen?
Not really. Like if someone, I'm
either you do or you don't.
It's no. I'm gonna like keep it staying on topic. I'm gonna say I've been, and it's not like, I don't know if I should. I guess I am a little ashamed to say like in the later stages of life, but I'm kind of naive when it comes to like someone telling me something and me accepting that as the truth. And me thinking, okay, if you say this is what you do, then you probably do something like that. And who am I to question it? I think time will always reveal. I'm always looking for clues. I question, but I'm not that blunt. Like I know like I had a friend who, she would always be, you know, just take pride in her asking the tough questions, asking the direct questions and asking.
And she was very single and lonely.
Yes. And I'm like, I don't want to put people on the spot. I'm not really trying to embarrass. But like, if you come at me and you come at me in a way that allows for me to like check you on something, I'm going to do it. If I feel the need to check you on something, I will find a way to do it. But I'm not really a test. Like I won't really test someone. And I kind of feel like I said, like if someone tells me this is what I do, or this is kind of what I'm about, blah, 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 I'm going to take their word for it until I see a reason not to believe them.
Well, listen, what it comes down to, you got to remember
that hasn't always worked for me. If you're questioning, how's that work for you?
No.
I knew you would say that.
Has Kick Bay been consistent?
Backing at all when it comes down to that. What I'm saying.
See, you stop her from answering the question. Has Kick Bay been consistent? Oh no, because you paused. So now you got to answer the question. Has Kick Bay been consistent or not?
Go ahead.
I think Kinetic wants to know if Kick Bay has been consistent.
This ain't anything about no Bay, no cake, no nothing. We are sticking on topic here. VEXRadio.com. Send the link to your friends and join the conversation. I'm actually going to put the link there. I don't know if anybody's going to be brave enough to join the conversation, but I'm going to go ahead and put the link. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to do that. Just hit, if you're actually viewing, listening to us on the YouTube page, as you see ahead in front of you, or if you want to tell a friend to join us, send them to VEXRadio.com where they can click the watch, listen to Cake with Care C link at the very top of the page. It'll take them to the page and where we're actually broadcasting from. And along the right-hand side, I guess, is where you'll see the comment box where I'm going to put the link right there, and that should take you right into the conversation. Yes, Kinetic, what were you saying? Go ahead.
Or check your IG page.
Yeah, or that. No, that one's just to listen. Actually, maybe I should update it there as well. Yeah, I changed it. Go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say, well, actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little and just say something to complete the point that I was making about the man that you should be looking for.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, continue on that point, and to finish it is basically there was a little thing that what Miss Supernerd said that I didn't agree with, and what it came down to is that you got to remember something. Any self-made man losses, and if you know and understand money,
has suffered losses. You said
suffered and went through losses, and
I thought I heard that. Okay, just wanted to be clear.
And if you know anything about money, being a self-made person, the generalized rule is this: 20 to 30, you learn to make money. 30 to 40, you learn to keep it. 40 to 50, you learn to grow your wealth. So if a man is at a stage where he is, and I've been there, like that's how actually exactly why I got with one of my ex-relationship. To this day, I hold her in high regards. Why I made her my woman. I've talked about her before. But what it comes down to is that, if you're going through your stage and you've taken a loss, again, I've always said, as long as you have the ability to network, you look at his ability to network, how he treats people and how people happy to see him or whatever it may be, or how he treats that waitress or waiter or that bartender or, the janitor. All those things are very important in order to make money. If you think you're better than somebody and stuff like that, you don't have the ability to network. It's in your pocket. It's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. To be able to make that money and make connections, because you can go with nothing down and become a millionaire tomorrow just on basis of ability to network.
Okay, so this man who's made it, has it, and lost some. Maybe he's not in the best position, and so now he meets someone, and he is still, because he knows his potential and worth, and his ambition is up, and he doesn't feel the need to reveal all the lows or the current low, let's say, and he still knows how to carry himself, and just allows everybody in the world, including this woman across from him, to assume that he has it like that and his money's up and everything's good. And does he owe her? Should he be revealing and clarifying that and saying, okay, let me, and this is in the early stages, and or
to even the stage. Exactly where you're going, and I'll just fast forward that is this. First, that you're at in a relationship. Again, personally, if I'm dating you, I'm dating to build to somewhere for the future. I'm not dating to, just get in your pants, say hi and and have you around and have you as arm candy. I'm looking to see, can we build a future? Can we build, can we be that power team? So, does anybody owe anybody anything? No.
Hell no.
Nobody, not even your mom, owes you anything. You come in the world alone, you die alone, you decide to give that person, but nobody actually owes you nothing. Nobody owes you politeness. Nobody owes you a hi. Nobody owes you buying. You know what? If you lend somebody, okay, they might be obligated to give you back. But you know what? At the end of the day, nobody owes you anything. If I choose, one thing, as I said, if I will not talk about my finances or what I have or what I can acquire or my next business move or anything with you unless I've taken you seriously. When it comes down to, if we're having those conversations, it's my obligation to ask you, not your obligation to tell me. But when I do ask you, it's your obligation to be honest with me. Because one of
Okay.
one of my friends that I was interested in, I already told her this. I said, look, you know what? I'm gonna be very honest with you with everything. Because one thing I've realized, you know what? Again, everybody puts their best foot forward. So when you decide that, you know what, I want to get with you or you want to get with me, I want to make sure that you love the real me. I'm gonna have those conversations with you. And yes, you're gonna call it quote unquote tests, but I'm gonna give you the real, but I expect the real back because I don't want any illusions. Don't fall in love with the idea of who I am. Fall in love with me, the man. Don't marry the idea of, don't be in love with the idea of getting married just to get married to success. Be in love with the idea of, the man, me.
With or without.
So, you know what?
Yes.
So it's our job to take to the next level, or what we're doing is to be very honest and have those honest communications and honest conversations, and you're not supposed to fake it. Again, does anybody owe anything before that? If we're just dating, we're going on a couple dates and stuff like that nature, I'll have little conversations. I'll have those little test conversations to see if you're somebody I want to continue. Then what's going to happen is you tell me something, I'm going to see that consistency. I'm going to see if you can maintain that. If we go out and you know what, you drive your big, Beamer or your Benz or whatever it is, you know what, is your gas tank always on empty? Because you can't afford that gas.
Okay, well, for me, I don't. You know what's silly? Just on that, I never fill my tank. Like, I fill it if I'm going on, if I'm going on a long drive or something, or if gas is like real cheap or something, it drops, then I might be tempted to. But I'll tell you the truth, ever since, and I know this is not a good way to go through the world because you're almost expecting something negative to happen, blah, 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 whatever. But I'm like, whatever, I'm going to keep some of my money in my pocket because I remember, and it took one. I feel like it was happened 2 times. Yeah, something happened. Yeah, 2 times. Sorry. I'm remembering 2 cars. That one, it was accident, and the other one, it just knocked out on me. And both times, my gas, I had just filled my tank, and so then they were just gone. My gas, I was just like, you know what? Never again am I filling my tank.
You worried about a gas tank when your car smashed up?
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, it wasn't. I wasn't worried about it, but I had just.
You just thought about it.
No, I had just put gas. There was one. It was This was years and years and years ago, and I had just filled it. The night before going out, it was a not Memorial. What do we call that? Victoria Day weekend, whatever. And it was gone. And then it happened again to me. So my current car, yeah, it's been full sometimes, but it's out of habit. I do not I don't go past a certain amount, and people think I'm crazy, and I just.
But no, but you see, you're isolating one point. What I was
no. But I'm just telling you, just as a funny little thing about me. And so sometimes people have their thing, and another little thing.
Is lifestyle. My thing is lifestyle consistency, though. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm really getting at. What it comes down to is that you're owning up to an image.
I hear you, yeah, but you're struggling to maintain it.
Then you're faking. Right?
You're missing your insurance payments. You're right. You can't, get a certain part fixed or replaced because you can't afford it. Yeah, it's
if you're looking for
tone
deals,
it down a little, step it down. Yeah,
you
might have
for
to
deals. You know what I mean, or you have to downgrade your car, or
and that happens so much more than we know it, and it really amazes me when I see women doing it, and I've witnessed a couple of women who've lived like that, and me, the cars I'm like, I am not what makes it. My car doesn't make me as a woman. And I know, sexist and all this stuff, but I could drive anything because I know when I step out of that car, I am the prize. It's not about how I got there, but when I step out, the car fades into the back. And if you hate the car so much, then maybe one day together we'll hook me up with a car that matches my physique a little better. I don't know. But that's the least of my worry. And
You
that's why
said
I don't get.
you said he'll hook me up instead of
No,
I'm gonna get.
we. I said we. This is
Yeah,
a podcast. This is a podcast. We can
we,
replay it. Let's
yeah.
see where it was. 10:32. Um, no, where yeah, like I don't know. I don't know how women get caught up in all that mess and the image and all that stuff, but it happens. It happens a lot. And and another little thing that popped to mind too was with the whole image thing and going back to the hair and really nice. Like I had a weave, full weave, really nice. And that's the night this guy saw me and stepped to me. And years later, when he was able to tell me, he's like, honestly, he goes, I saw you and I said, wow, that woman has beautiful hair. And even on the first date, he thought it was all he thought it was my hair. And so when I told him eventually
You had
somehow,
that
some way,
Brazilian, 100% Brazilian.
no, it's actually not Brazilian. I feel like putting a little plug here. It's actually from another region. And but it is gorgeous hair. And it good quality. And that attracted. And so we joked because he and I used to talk business all the time. It was like we joked about that would be a good selling point, like to say, okay, this could get you a man kind of hair, but as a joke, whatever. But that visual was what attracted, but it was more about the rest of me and what else I had and what was going on in my mind and I guess my beautiful heart and soul and all that good stuff that actually hooked him. So sometimes these things are are part of the allure and the draw. And I mean, and I'm going back to when I was younger, like not this particular story, but I can remember when I was younger and I used to date, like I was with a guy for years and he like I'm just having flashbacks of being in my room with him helping me pin in my ponytail. So like I would like put my hair up, twist up my own hair, and he would be helping me pin in my ponytail. And that's how real it was even back then when I was young. So I've never like lied about anything or hidden, and I know that with or without the
You see, and
ponytail,
nothing's wrong with that.
yeah, with or without, like he was holding me while I was
Right.
just holding me, my thing was tight, and so with or without, it was cool. He saw me in every way,
As I
and
said,
so
nothing
yeah,
wrong with
yeah,
enhancements. There's
yes,
nothing wrong with enhancements. There's nothing wrong with ads. Like, just like gear to go out and step out to. If you see me every day,
hmm
I'm in jeans and those. Well, I have like 100. I'm not even joking when I say 100 of those thermal tops, gray and white. I have like literally 100, and if I could wear, I'm talking about like 100 of those black tops. You'd think it's the same damn black top over and over and over again. Believe it or not,
I
it's
know
worth
someone like that.
$5.
Yep. No, I know someone like that too. Like he would just stock up in a certain shirt and it wasn't high price retail, but it was, up there for a t-shirt. And
No,
he would just,
my thermal tops are $5.
oh,
$5.
okay.
No word of a lie.
Okay. Let me
And
see
as I
one of
said,
those.
right now,
Mm.
you can see it. You can go on on
Instagram?
any one of
Okay.
my Instagrams and go
All
look
right.
at any one of those pics. And if you see that black top, I literally have 100 of those tops. I'm not even
Okay.
joking about that.
Hey, if it works.
Right? Just you know what? Summer, winter, they're cool. They're warm. Like you know what I mean? It's just
Okay.
they work for me. They're microfiber. They feel real comfortable. And I like you know what? Trust me,
Sell your shirt, man.
you could not talk to my Louis, you could not talk to my Gucci, but I just prefer to have those.
Right.
And like, you know what? And right now, you know what? I'm an invested down cycle, right? So you know what? I wouldn't even be able to afford that stuff right now because I'm building a future and legacy. Down to is like, you know what? Right now it's like, you know what? I'm maxed. So any woman come into my life, I can't do the things that I would do normally as a man that is taking on a woman. They don't do the things like let her go get her hair done and and go on the vacations and do all that stuff, right? Because right now I'm financially maxed out, right? I've sold off. I made my sacrifices. Went to my down cycle. I've sold off a lot of my cars. You know what I mean? Sold off some property stuff so I could grow bigger. Because I'm on that next level. I'm going to that next level. And you know what? And people don't realize that you have to downgrade your living, your livity.
My
People
favorite
think, oh,
quote is, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna
No,
say
go
people
ahead.
don't realize that you have to you know what, you might have a 800,000 or $100,000 house, right? But sometimes you have to downgrade to a $500,000 townhouse to upgrade to, to have that lucrative money to go invest in two properties, to flip them within a year, sorry, and carry them so you can have now buy a $3 million property. Some people's like, they don't, they don't think that, hey, you know what? Okay, or my Benz or my, you know what? Like when I had an Audi, I had an Audi, I had a Beamer, I had a Hummer, and I had a Benz. I had every car that everybody wanted.
Mm.
Right? I got rid of all of them and got a damn Camry. Why? Because it was a lifestyle that, you know what? I didn't need to maintain. I want to go to the next level, so I needed that liquid cash. And to go develop that land, to go flip those houses so that, you know what, I can live like most you want to.
And would you feel the need to explain that to a woman now if you assert?
Nope.
Okay.
Not unless I'm taking her on. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to take you on, then I explain, like, again, if me and you were doing are talking about, life moves, power moves, you're going to be of that mindset. You're going to understand that, hey, you know what? We're going to have to go give up this and let people talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were in a $2 million house and now they're living in a $500,000 condo, or or a $500 townhouse condo. Why? And then, you know what? But then a year later, you're going to be living in a $5 million condo, prefabricated home.
Mm-hmm. Okay, your favorite quote, Miss Supernerd? Sorry, you have me.
Your new life is going to cost your old life.
I just saw that. Actually,
my favorite is short-term
that.
sacrifices, long-term dividends. So every time that I need to make a sacrifice, I'm like, this is a short-term sacrifice.
Yep.
The return on an investment is going to be for the long term. So I tell people all the time, and this is a learned behavior and a learned thought process with regards to what KINETIC was speaking about in terms of being willing to make the short-term sacrifices or being willing to scale back on, luxurious and excessive lifestyle in order to have the longevity in the long run. Because once again, as perpetuated by the media, everything is about the here and now. So you're supposed to have the big house right now. You're supposed to have the X, Y, and Z. You're supposed to have the 6 cars in the driveway, which still doesn't make sense to me, because if there are only 2 people in the house, why do y'all need 6 cars? But that's just me. So, maybe I'm crazy. But a lot of people don't understand the necessity of investment. And with regards to the conversation that you two have been having about how transparent are you about your shortcomings with somebody, to show that what you see is what you get. So you're never going to get blindsided with information about me, because it's always going to come from me first. And when I have conversations with somebody who's expressed interest, I may not hit you with the full Monty. Like, I'm not going to give you like 100% of my business, but I'm going to give you enough information about me for you to make an informed decision about whether or not I'm really what you want. And I'm really what you're capable of handling, because I'm work, and I don't pretend like I'm not work. Like, I'm not one of those chicks who sits there and goes, oh, I'm just, I'm chill. No, I'm work. So I need you to understand that, and I need you to really determine whether or not you have the work ethic to take me on, because I'm work because I put in work for the people who matter to me. And I'm transparent about it, because you can't turn around and come back to me and be like, oh, nerdy, you didn't tell me, X, Y, and Z, because I'm going to be like, really? Because I got a text message conversation. So, do you want Horatio Kane to take off his shades now or later? Because I'm pretty sure I told you. And so when it comes to transparency, you don't get the full Monty unless I feel like you deserve the full Monty. And when it comes when it comes to whether or not a man has X, Y, and Z, my whole thing is I'm all for reciprocity. So I don't ask for what I can't bring to the table. And I'm not going to ask you for something that I can't match. It may not be the exact same thing, but we're supposed to be in this together if we're in a relationship, because to me, a relationship is a partnership. And a partnership, especially a contractually binding partnership, requires both parties to disclose their assets and potential liabilities before any agreement is made. So if you come to me and you're lying to me about what you bring to the table because you somehow think that the lie is going to benefit me in the long run, you're not exposing your liabilities to me. But I've been transparent on my end. And if we were actually two individual corporations and that came out in the wash, I'm suing everybody from your grandmama to your grandkids because you playing with my time, and time is non-refundable, sir. So my whole thing is, I would rather you tell me upfront. You don't have to give me your credit score. You don't have to go into your finances. That's really none of my business because I don't need to be in your pocket. But if you want me to be your girlfriend, if you see me as a potential spouse, if you see me as a potential long-term babe, however you want to quantify it and classify it, the title is not that important. But if you see you having a future with me, then keep it 100. Be like, you know what? I've been in a position where, I've made a lot of money and I lived a good life. And I made some decisions that may not necessarily have been the best of business decisions, but they were lessons for me. I don't consider them failures. And at this point, I'm flipping those lessons to make sure that I don't make the same mistake twice. What that tells me is you're cognizant of the choices that you make. You take responsibility and accountability for the consequences of those choices, and you create solutions. I can kick it with you because you know what? You're the kind of man where if we woke up next week and we were married with 3 kids and we were bankrupt, I trust you to handle your business because you've shown me that when you were by yourself without the additional responsibilities, you did what it took to get back to where you wanted to be. But if you lied to me, that means that should we get married, I'm not going to find out we're bankrupt until the bank comes to repossess the house. Now we have a problem because my kids ain't going to be homeless because you don't know how to tell the truth. So my whole thing is, you don't have to be balling. Even if you're balling, I don't care. It's not my money. If you're balling and you come to me and you make more money than me, teach me how to get to where you are.
Right.
That'll impress me far more than you putting $5,000 or $50,000 in front of me. If you came to me and you said, what do you have? Let me tell you how to flip it so that it goes 3 ways or it goes 6 ways or it goes 9 ways so that 2 years from now, you're where I'm at right now, even if I've grown past you because we're both evolving. I'll take that. Don't give me the fish. Teach me how to fish. Mm-hmm. That impresses me.
I believe in that.
If you're broke, let me be clear. Like KINETIC, I've experienced luxury. I'm a child of multimillionaires. I've gone to private schools. I've had chauffeurs and maids. So your money doesn't impress me because money comes and goes. Your ability to make money, your ability to grow money, your ability to flip money, that's impressive to me. But don't pull out stacks and, pretend that, the money's calling and things that I'm going to be like, oh my God, Zaddy, I'm going to be looking at you like, oh, okay, so you know how to use an ATM machine. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. Next. Is there more to what you bring to the table? So don't lie. Like my whole point with the statement that I made is, if you're concerned that your potential doesn't match where you believe I am, tell me where you're at and then show me how you're going to get to where you want to be. That's it. I'll kick it with you. We can be homies. I ain't going nowhere. If you keep it 100 with me, I'm going to hold you down. But if you are going to lie to me, fake the funk, and then never actually manifest the potential, we're going to have a problem.
So in closing, what KINETIC is your final say and all that? So any woman that wants to be in your life from now till forever and ever, amen. How does she have to step to you? Like, how real does she have to be? How open does she have to be? And how fast do you need that information?
Well, as I said, you know what? For me personally, I think it's not about whether it's what she consistently does. You see, my thing is this. Look, I have the ability to make money. I have the ability to make money very quickly and large amounts of it very quickly. Right? And that's whether I have nothing or otherwise, right? As I said, I'm in my financial down cycle. I know what I'm doing. I know how to get it, all those things. Now, for me, I look for things like kindness, I look for things like, does she care about me? See, it's funny when I tell people this, people sit there and then they don't realize it. They freak out, and like I say, I don't care about love. I don't care if a woman tells me she loves me. I do care if a woman cares about me. Did he eat today? How was his day? You know what? How do I make his day easier? Did he stop and take a break? Things of that nature. The actual aspect of caring about somebody. Because when you have that, there's a million people in jail right now that love somebody so much that they murdered them because they couldn't see somebody with somebody else. But if you care about somebody, you will never hurt them or put them, or do anything to hurt them. You're gonna look out for them. So that's why, for me, you care about me. Caring about me is more than loving. It means more to me than loving me. The second thing is, things that I look about is this, and this is just people in general. I always preach this. I always post this. The realest thing you can do ever is promote your peoples and put them into position to make money. If you really care about your people, and I'm not talking about being money driven. I'm talking about what you can do for their life. Is put them in a position to make money or promote their business. So when I see somebody that, is backing me and being positive and, ask me about my business and trying to learn about my business and promoting what I'm doing and things of that nature as to a vested interest, a woman that attracts me. That's the mentality that I want. She's like, oh, you did this, or she's amongst me and she saw I did this move and she tried to emulate, or she asked me, you know what? Hey, you know what? How do I do this? As Miss Supernerd said, exactly. You know what? If I'm teaching you, you're willing to learn. That's something that I want. Or if you could add something to my table, or connect me with somebody, because the one of the biggest attributes of any woman to a man is her ability to connect you with other people to make money. It doesn't matter about whether they whether it's a man or a woman who to connect. The fact remains that they're putting you in that position. So that's
or
very
if they
important.
can grease the deal. If your woman is charming enough to make the other person want to co-sign because of your woman's charm, because she may not know people, but she may be able to charm people.
Right. Well, I never thought about that, but that's very valid. Right.
That's why men have eye candy when they go to business dinners.
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, again, I'm not of that. Use a woman as a tool. You know what I mean? Because as I said, I have the confidence.
It's mutually beneficial.
Yeah. If you're paying her, but then it's a service,
If
right?
she's with you, then the payoff is the lifestyle that she's going to have access to when you come up.
Ouch, you're gonna have some people coming at you, girl.
Well, I'm just saying, no, listen, once again, this is a partnership. You're talking about a woman that you're dating. If the woman that you're dating is trying to be your wife, let's be realistic. No woman wants to be married to a broke man. So if your man takes you to a business dinner and he tells you, okay, babe, there's this business deal that I need to close. This guy that I'm going to go meet, he's very traditional. So he's looking for men who have stability. I think that you bring a lot to the table. That translates to me, if I'm that chick, okay, so he's looking to see whether or not this man is capable of committing to a woman, which translates to, can you commit to a business deal? Because if things don't work out, because women are very temperamental, business is very temperamental, do you ride out the storm? And the question is going to be, what kind of storm do you ride out? If you bring a ditzy airhead, that means that you don't look for people of value. That means your investments are not of value. But if you bring a woman of substance, she charms me, she's intelligent, I know that she's going to keep you in check when you're messing up, which means my money is not going to be at a loss. I'll do business with you. I've had these conversations with Jewish millionaires. They've literally said, I will say no to a deal with a young man because he brought an airhead. I don't care how big her tits are. I want to know how deep her mind is.
Right.
So if she's trying to come up because she sees you as her future husband, why would she not help you be a rich husband?
Mm-hmm.
Or a wealthy husband, because rich is temporary and immediate. Right. Sorry. Continue.
Right. No, that's again very prime. Something you got me at a loss for words. Wow. That's too much. I like that one. I really do.
I did say I'm sick today.
I like that one. I'm like, wow, okay. So,
Okay, well,
so I was talking about kindness. I talked about your ability to put that person into a position to make money. The idea that she's not material, she's lifestyle driven, not materialistically driven. You know what? Can she give up that car for me to get her a bigger car a year down the road? You know what? We're together. Can I sell that Benz, right, and give you a Honda Accord for 6 months or a year so I can buy you a Porsche later?
if we're married, maybe we could talk about stuff like that, but
Well, as
I
I
don't
said,
even want a Porsche. Can I just get an Audi so I don't need to
until
ride the
then,
TTC? I'm just joking. Continue.
yeah, but no, but you understand that what I'm trying to say is like when it comes in, like, you know what? It's believe it or not, those little simple things are the difference between you becoming rich or wealthy or staying broke. The fact means that you can give up your Audi so I can get you so you can drive that, so I can get you a Porsche later, or get you a Lambo later, whatever it may be. Those are the difference, because one thing is that we as ethnic people, I'm not going to even say black people, ethnic people, the problem is that we have been programmed to keep up with Joneses, to look and act rich instead of actually being rich and doing what needs to take to be rich, which is another one of my things.
I'm gonna say black people, because
No,
Asian
they're-
people are
listen,
people and Indian people are ethnic people, and I don't know if y'all been to Brampton recently, but they take cohabitation to a whole new level. But given 5 years, everybody owns a house, so that's
Right.
black people from my observation.
Well, whatever it may be, but you know what? All it comes down to is like, you know what? Those are the things, like, just to keep up with the Joneses, and they buying Gucci or fake Gucci just to look like they got Gucci, instead of putting themselves in a position to buy actual real Gucci if they want it. So to me, it's just like, it's the ability to not be materialistic that'll allow you to actually be rich instead of looking rich. We all have this mentality, which I'm sick of. Is that, you know what? I want to act and look rich now.
For people who don't give a damn if you are.
Right?
exactly.
They're balling in a club, charging their credit cards, you know what? Bottle after bottle after bottle, just to look rich, and they have gold chains that they can't afford. You know what I mean? That's probably, it's going to probably taken back because they can't afford it. It's going to get snatched off their neck by the repo man. Because they have they have it on whatever it is. But you get what I'm saying, right? Not really,
And I think we're going to get into that. Like, remember, we're due for our finance show or whatever we're going to call
The
it. How
funny
we're gonna
money.
spend. We got a few of those to tackle coming up, and we'll talk about that and actually getting people into the position
To win.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's something I was actually just talking to my sister about recently, and some people are born into it, born into the knowledge, and their parents have it, and it's just they just need to learn it, and many of us are not. So we'll deal with that on an upcoming show. I think tonight, though, we put it out there. We got our I'm actually going to listen
I
back to this.
Oh.
want to hear Miss Supernerd's closing your close, though.
Okay, I'll give my close.
I'll let Miss Supernerd speak, because we're going to. Yeah.
So, my 3 talking points in closing are authenticity, transparency, and consistent reciprocity. So, regardless of whether or not you're a man or a woman, you need to be grounded and comfortable with who you are. And you need to be so grounded and comfortable with who you are that you do not seek a cosign or a validation from someone else. Because if you do not deal with those insecurities and those self-esteem issues, you're constantly going to be buying other people's affection for that cosign. And you're never going to get it. Because once you can't afford the cosign, that person that you bought is going to move on to the highest bidder, because what attracted them was something based off of financial resources, not authentic connection.
All right.
The second point with regards to transparency, you first have to be transparent about what you want and what you need with yourself before you start requesting that of others. You can't fake the funk, whether it's your hair, your nails, your waistline, your finances, your car, In some cases, some of y'all dudes are catfishing dicks, whatever, in order to capture somebody's attention, or in order to hook somebody's attention, and then hope they stick around when the reality of who you really are comes to play. Because it's false advertising. And somebody may not sue you, but somebody may jump you, somebody may kill you because people don't like being lied to. If you're honest about who you are, what you want, and what you need, then you can be honest about where you're getting that from. And if what you need is consistent validation on a superficial level, then you're going to choose to deal with people on a superficial level, and that's perfectly fine. If you're looking for a soul deep connection when it comes to dating and relationships, then you need to be honest that the reason why you pursue superficial things is because you need somebody to see value in you, and you need to see that in yourself first. And you need to be honest about the fact that you don't see value in yourself. I will respect somebody more who says, you know what, I do this because I haven't learned how to love me. Because that allows me to create boundaries around you to give you the opportunity to learn how to do that. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't reciprocate that energy to anybody else, because it's a behavior. And if it's a behavior you're not familiar with yourself, it's a behavior that's going to be alien to you with other people. And then consistent reciprocity. So women do this a lot. We have a checklist. We want him to be 6'4". We want him to drive the latest Mercedes-Benz. We want him to have the iPhone 7. We want him to live in downtown Toronto in a 3-bedroom penthouse condo, and he has to catch flights to Dubai, Bora Bora, and Cancun at least once or twice a year. And he has to be able to take you shopping at Nordstrom and Saks. And he has to be able to buy you the Brazilian bundles that cost, $750 to $1,000 with the lace frontal, and pay for the hairstylist to do it, and all this other good stuff. But you still live at home with your mama in Scarborough.
You can't deliver.
You can't afford the synthetic hair from the hair shop in Scarborough. Your credit is questionable. You can't keep a job. You can't keep your car. And you have a minimum wage work ethic, but you have a $1 million aspirational mentality. You can't ask for what you don't bring to the table. So when it comes to me personally, me, myself, and I, if you're going to step to me, if you see me on the street, or if you see me online, or if you see me elsewhere, and you want to get to know me better, and you want to ask something of me, the question that I'm going to ask you to ask yourself first is, can I match that? Because if you come out here and you're talking about, shorty got to have a small waist, big booty, Einstein IQ, white girl credit, Asian girl feet, Mexican girl hair, I'm going to need you to match the list. And I'm going to need you to be consistent. Because if I turn up with the body and I have the good hair, that's me. Like, that's me. No waist cincher, no bundles. That's me. Because you can't be 5'4" and asking for that. I'm just saying. Because now I have a list. So we got to compare if those lists really match up. And we got to compare if those lists match up on a consistent basis. So beyond the introduction, beyond the initial interaction, when we go from introductions to kicking it to dating to courting to a relationship to marriage, are you going to be consistent? And one of my favorite quotes is, do what you did to get her in order to keep her. And that's a two-way street. Ladies, don't be out here chef boyard negroing for a man when you first meet him, and then you have those struggle plates on Instagram during Thanksgiving with the baked beans and the wieners and the uncooked mac and cheese. But when he met you, you slayed a steak. So you start taking cooking classes once you got him? Girl, he's going to be hungry for life. He eats every day. You better learn how to cook something other than a good steak. You don't know how to make an omelet? A lasagna? A casserole? You don't even have to work when it comes to a crock pot. Just chop it, throw it in, and No? Whoo, girl, you're going to be lonely. So just be consistent. Just be consistent and match it. And if it's specific to me, you better be ready to come and to put in work. I don't kick it with lazy people.
Can I get Jamaican to bop 20 shots, right? I swear it's like twice I wanted to do.
Those are my 3.
All right.
Those are my 3.
See, I want to hear yours. Don't end it. I want to hear yours.
No, I mean, I don't have it's not like I have a list or anything like that, but
Everybody got a list.
Here's my thing. At the end of the day, I'm keeping on topic here. I think people have to do and be and look however they want to look and own what they want to own, whatever makes them happy, whatever makes you feel good. And my thing, no, and I mean, but my thing is, as long as you can keep it up, you can maintain it, and it's balanced. And I without going into too much, but I think I touched on this one of our last shows when, you know, I've always worked, and I had a guy, I was actually working okay, I'm going gosh, I get into so much details. Anyway, I was working, I happened to be on my lunch. I saw this guy and we sat and had lunch together, and this is someone I used to see in the clubs, and he told me that he he called me stush, and then he went into the whole gold digger thing, which I took offense to. I thought, that's not me. You could say stush, you could say I have this whatever, but to go as far as the gold digger thing. And so we sat and we actually talked about it, and I let him know I was offended by that, and I spoke. And then what he was commenting about, I thought, but I mean, that's me. Like, whatever I had, and I didn't have it all. I've never had like a luxury car or anything like that, and I just never felt the need to. But whatever I've had, whatever I no, whatever however I present myself, and I've anything else that has come along the way, gifts or anything like that, has been bonus. But as far as, so I think if you, whoever you want to be or however you want to package yourself, if you can maintain that and keep that up without doing things that go against your core values and your, you know what I mean, things you believe in, and if you are a religious person, you're not breaking the rules you set for yourself and your principles, then go ahead and do you, as long as, and my thing is, there are people out there that I look and I say, like, fake, like, you just want to like stamp a fake
I know
on
you
them.
in real life, right?
And what? Come on.
No. I said no. I was complimenting what you said. It's like, you look at them and they're posting, you're like, you do realize I know you in real life, right?
You're talking about me.
No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, yeah.
Or people who we don't even know, like these people, the bodies they've purchased and the things that they pose with, and all
the flights they
everything
take every other day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it's
and
like
not working.
for that, but at the same time, there's someone for them. There's someone that actually likes that. They're attracted to it, and they could do that with them, and that's their world. Like, they are just as caught up. And so my thing is, whoever you're coming to, be real about it. Be, and this goes for men and women. And if that person that you're sitting across the table from isn't feeling you after you've told them your truth, or you've revealed you're real, then let them go and wait for yours. You know what I mean? Wait for the right person that will actually appreciate what you have and understand what you don't have, and not try to change you and not make you feel bad about it. Because like you were saying, Miss Supernerd, like, everybody has a story, and there are reasons why people do the things they do and look the way they look, wear what they wear. And if that helps them get up and face the world and do what they got to do, then allow them to do it. If you don't like it, don't go into the world and try to change them, try to clean them up a little. Or, I mean, sometimes it works if that's what the person ultimately wants, and sometimes it takes the right person and put them on a different track. But I think you just have to be real, and you will then attract who you should really have in your life, as opposed to trying to live up to someone else's standards or change to fit someone else's agenda or lifestyle or whatever. And so and hopefully in doing that, you actually attract someone that sees beyond all this stuff. And I know it's important to have a person in your life that you can build with and hustle with and do all this stuff with. But at the end of the day, if you guys end up in a studio apartment with nothing, and you don't know what I'm saying, as a couple, and that's what it is, and it's not, there's nothing wrong with the studio apartment. What I'm saying is,
I'm just messing with you.
If you're coming from the 5, 6 room home, whatever, and you end up, and you can roll over and look at, and you're sleeping on a mattress on the floor or something, and you still roll over and you're like, this is exactly who I want to be in this position with. Like, and wherever we go from here, you're who I want to be in this with. Then I think that's what really matters. And I hate to sound all corny and cliche or whatever, but that's the truth. Like, and for me, looking back at my life, like the people I've been with are people that I would have been with whether they had it or they didn't. And I've been with people who didn't have it, whatever. But there was something about them, and there's things that I loved about, you know what I mean? So I think, and some people, I never got to see all that because they thought it was about the shiny things and the fake lifestyle and all that stuff. And that's what I don't have patience for, like trying to sift through all that to get to the real you. Like, that's okay. You can go impress someone else with your stuff because it's not happening over here. If I don't feel like I really know you, that type of thing. So for me, it's all about just being real. Just be real with it and own you. And if someone doesn't like it, then whatever. And that may be the big old dolled up, always wear makeup, always have your hair done, whatever. That might be you. I mean, I never wore flats until I had my daughter, really. I mean, that was many years ago, but I wore heels all the time just because I love heels. But I mean, some people might be like, can you just chill sometimes? Can you just put on sneakers? Like, this is my chill. Like, I had chill heels. You know what I mean? But it's like, you can't say that I'm not a person that could be athletic or have fun just because I wear heels most of the time you see me, because put me in the right situation in the gym, yeah, I'm going to show up in sneakers. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come in the heels to try to, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, don't try to sum someone up, by what they look like most of the time. Put it that way. Dope. And that's my 2 cents.
Can I end it off on this?
Yes, you may.
Can I end it off on this?
Go ahead. What's that?
One of my favorite, I guess, memes that I've seen years ago, before memes were a thing, but I guess they say the Japanese have 3 faces. The Japanese say 3 faces.
Yeah.
The first face you show the world. The second face you show your close friends and family. The third you never show anyone. It's the truest reflection of who you are. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Sorry, repeat that.
So the Japanese say you have 3 faces. Mm-hmm. The first face, you show the world. Mm-hmm. The second face, you show your close friends and family. The third face, you never show anyone, and it is the truest reflection of who you are.
Valid.
And some people can't even see that one. They're just, or
other people fake it so much they forget who they are.
Yeah, or don't want to face it. You know what I mean? And so. But
be careful. You fake it till you make it. You just remember who you are at the end of it, because a lot of people forget who they are. They buy into their hype.
So true. Keep it real, people. It's a real talk there. Anyway, great talking to you guys again. We will do it again next Tuesday.
So join us.
Join us right here at vexradio.com. If you missed any of the show, or you just want to hear it again, or you want to hear what one of these two said at whatever point in the show and you missed it, it is available as a podcast: iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, even YouTube. You can watch it again on YouTube. And I keep the link up on my Instagram page and Twitter, so you can check there in the bio for the most recent show if you want to replay it that way. And I'm going to let, again, just to remind you, so it's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Cake with Care C. That's how you can find me, Miss Supernerd.
You can find me on Instagram and on Snapchat at Miss Supernerd, 3 S's, not 2.
And KINETIC.
Yes, just Instagram. I KINETIC 100. And you know what? And I want the listeners out there, y'all need to start calling. I get comments upon comments upon comments about what, and then y'all to start calling in people. Stop being scared of the radio. It's just a show.
I know.
Y'all listen to y'all comments. I was like, why don't y'all call in?
Right. I get text stuff after. I'm like, ugh, whatever.
You know, we gotta start. These people need to stop being scared of this radio show.
So
There's a
we'll
lot
work
of
on
them are
that.
still scared. Yeah.
So if you're listening to the podcast, join us next week live on air. Just download Google Hangouts in the meantime, and yeah, connect with us. Until then,
Peace.
take
Bo,
care.
bo, bo.